Well, hello yet again. It's testimony time. And I think this is the seventh one. Good to be here with you. Walking home from the city in the morning. Had a wonderful latte with my son. Dropped him off at the school where he works. And now I'm heading home to have a little bit of breakfast. And I'm thinking about testifying about the greatness of God, something that the Holy Spirit wants to help us do. I'm thinking particularly about something I've mentioned in earlier testimonies, and that is specifically about the 3 confirmations that I received confirming that, yes, it is Sweden, it is this particular city in the south of Sweden, and I want to share that today. Confirming. I find great comfort in asking God to confirm things. Of course, He confirms things through the Word. Jesus declares we can give it all away and go. So that was not the issue. It was more about timing and confirming where and things like that. And when I talk about confirmation for myself, I'm talking about God Himself through ways I cannot control or manipulate or fish out, confirming things. And I want to talk about the 3 confirmations that I needed, desired, wanted God to do so that I could say I knew that I knew, in addition to Jesus' words, that it's cool, give it all away. But this second trip to Sweden was a give it all away in 1987, 35 years ago. And so I asked Him, please. And He is a good Father, isn't He? He gives us the Holy Spirit, and it doesn't get any better than that. The Spirit of Jesus Christ, that Spirit of grace. Anyhow, so the first thing that happened, I didn't know when, but in my heart I was determined to move to Sweden, but needed that confirmation. And so the first one came. I was going to the dentist to have my teeth looked at and cleaned before the trip, whenever it might occur. And I had shared with the nurse that I was going to Sweden. And she had told the dentist. And when he came in, chatting a bit with me, he said, by the way, I understand you're going to Sweden. Yeah, don't know when, but I'm going. He said, well, that's interesting. I'm the president of the local dental chapter, and we've invited a special guest speaker from Sweden. I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then he said, from Gothenburg, Sweden. And Gothenburg was the city that we thought we were to go to. So that was number 1. Then, in preparing to leave, again, not knowing exactly when, I called a dear brother who I had worked with at an oil company. He had transferred up to the home office, and I was calling him just to share about Sweden and going to Sweden. And he said, that's interesting, because there's a guy here in the building now from Sweden. Let me get his business card and I'll call you back. Well, he did. He got it. Going through a tunnel now. He got it, and he called me back, and he said, yeah, he's from Gothenburg. And I thought, wow, God, that's pretty cool. 2 out of 3. Where are we going with this? Then I called the ministry where I had worked. And it just so happened that my former secretary was sitting in the reception area. And it just so happened that the door to the hallway was open. And it just so happened that it was a change of class. And it just so happened that as the students were walking by, she saw a young man from Sweden and said to me, "Wow, I am so sorry. I have a business card from a pastor in Sweden that I was supposed to send to you. And I just simply forgot to do it, but I'll do it today." Well, she did. And I got it, of course, with great anticipation. And it wasn't at all Gothenburg. Okay, such as it is. But I thought I better call the pastor and thank him. And I did. And I found out, yeah, but he's not in that town anymore. He has moved, to Gothenburg. 3 out of 3. Isn't God wonderful to confirm things like that? So we did it. We gave almost all of it away. I've shared about that. I'll share more detail about that another time. But for me, it was that comfort and that enablement, that outpouring of God's grace, that confirmation by the Spirit to keep on keeping on. Go for it. Do it. It's confirmed. Isn't God amazing? And there have been other times in my life when I have sought God to confirm things. On one of the times, I had a very, very important decision, and I needed to let the people know what I was contemplating. So I chose 3 people that love me so much that they would tell me no. Isn't that wonderful to know people like that? Not just people that might jump in there too quickly and not have the mind of the Lord. But anyhow, so sure enough, it took a period of time. They lived in, 2 were in different parts of Sweden, and 1 was in Finland at the time. And God used them, to my joy and my delight, to confirm 3 times the green light that I had on the inside to go for it. And when I think about the green light, I think about believers I've known over the years who have driven on the yellow light. What do I mean? Well, when you're cruising through town and you come up to a set of stoplights, obviously if it's green, you continue. If it's red, you stop. But it's that yellow that gets us in trouble. Now here in Sweden, if the light turns yellow and there's enough time and distance for you to safely come to a stop, that's what you're supposed to do. Not push the gas down and hope. And I think about that for we who believe. We have the Holy Spirit to both convict and convince. When you have a red light, stop. You'll hear those red lights more clearly. And when you have a green light, that's just as challenging. It's one thing to pray for Sweden and know that God's said, okay, you can go. But it's something else to also trust that same Holy Spirit to obey, to in fact do that which God has confirmed. So that's the green light. But it's that yellow light. Listen, when you get that yellow light, when you get that something on the inside and you're just not sure, well, stop. You're not going to miss God. He's not a moving target. You understand? He'll give you peace. We follow peace. We follow the Prince of Peace. And we obey as he leads us. Our obedience glorifies God. when we obey Jesus and when we trust Him to enable us to obey. We make a decision in our will to obey, and He comes as the helper to help us. Anyway, I just wanted to share these 3 confirmations that I have mentioned in earlier testimony and encourage you today. Ask God to confirm. He'll do it. God bless you today. Good day.